far more volatile than gold or currency. I hope I'm not getting in your area.
Well, go for it.
So we'll see. I don't want to get into
I don't want to keep Chris waiting any longer. He knows the most about anything having to do with currency of all of us, certainly combined up here. So Chris, we would love to hear your view on these questions.
No, this has been a fascinating discussion, and thank you, Barry, for allowing me to get on stage. I'm over in the Global and Business and Economics program, but your leadership and Scowcroft's leadership on this issue is obviously a very important one. I'm here at the Atlantic Council, and I'm also a tenured Georgetown law professor, so I'm going to take a bit of a regulatory stab, but I think it's important to think about, in very basic terms, what does Bitcoin do? How is it different? What are its advantages? Mm-hmm. Because I think that when you think about it in simple terms, it helps for you to put your mind around just how difficult it is for regulators to deal with this very new phenomenon. At its essence, when you have any kind of transaction between two parties in a Bitcoin system, the information relating to the transfer of Bitcoin is not processed in the way that one would normally anticipate, particularly when you deal with a transaction involving currency. That is, quite simply, in our modern financial markets, there's an infrastructure for certain kinds of transactions that, in essence, we have certain clearing and payment and settlement systems that allow parties that are based in far-flung parts of the world to transact with one another. And that clearing system effectively validates and confirms that a party has what it says that it has and that it will deliver that currency to the counterparty in that transaction. Now, what we have in the Bitcoin system is very, very different. Instead of having a central clearing mechanism, we have this democratized process whereby all of the participants in the Bitcoin system, and particularly the miners who receive various levels of incentives, go out and validate, and I like your term, to fact check, in essence, the transaction to make sure, on the one hand, that party A, who is giving Bitcoin to party B, actually has the Bitcoin that party A says it has. And then also, and closely related to it, there is a recording process, a process by which the transaction is recorded and that the transaction is then transmitted to the world, right? So it creates this kind of public good once the blockchain is created, all right? So it's a democratized system, a system in which lots of different parties